Sorry, I just looked and my I was a little too not decent or modest in these times. You have to dress a little more. It went a little too far down. I don't like that. Um, on a live stream, what have I been doing? First of all, my old computer I normally use live streaming in the bedroom has been tremendously slow, and I was so fortunate to get some produce free of charge that I have been canning up. I have been at my son's place to help him do some chores and help him to cook some food. I need to see, because I don't know how about the light here. Okay, it's not good. Let's see. I think that's a little better, isn't it? I think that's a little better. Perhaps. I don't know. Yeah. As you see, it's a little chaos here in Denmark. What have I been up to? Sorry for the light quality. I can't do much. Give me a here. It's the best I can do right now because I'm low of light bulbs, and lucky me, I own a lamp, and you can't get the light bulb anymore. They are sort of out of stock, so I have to live with it or go and buy a new lamp that use a different type of light bulbs. But I'm a little too cheap on that part, so I will try to live with it until we get my light bulbs in stock again. I have started on a marathon knitting. I found a bunch of, as you can see, this is acrylic yarn that I have a tremendous amount of. And I was thinking, why not start a 1 year knitting project? Stupidity. Look at that. Look at that. See? My son said, why don't you knit for the book of Jenny's book, something about a record book. I said no. And people like, what do I need? Yes, knitting scarf. What I actually wanted to do was, when I have knitted this long thing here, I got it inspired on a cartoon. It's called The Last Knitting. That was a lady that simply took a yarn and she knitted a long, like this, what do you call a scarf, until she ran out of yarn. Okay, in the cartoon she started to knit her hair, but I'm probably not going to do that. I'm very happy for my hair. But I was thinking I am going to sort of cut it in length, when for Afghan or something, and then take the machine and stitch and cut it in length, and then put them sideways and stitch them together to blankets, or I think you call it argans or something. So that's one of my projects. Um, yeah, to use up all my yarn here. And I started in May, and I am going to knit on it to May 2023. So the idea was that I am going to knit on it for a whole year on this, and use up all my tiny skeins of yarn. How many stitches do I have? I have actually not counted. I just, okay, I could get this, and I sort of just knitted it. So that's one thing I have been doing. Since I can't move my computer, thank you for coming by. I have been canning. As you can see, I have been canning chicken soup, um, green soup, um, pork stew soup. What I got here is I got apples, pork, um, and I got onion on the top of it. And this is also a chicken soup I have done with. It has a little different flavor to it, but it has carrot, red bell pepper, onion, um, potatoes into it, and I'm making these, and share out for people in need. I'm saving the food because I got a lot of produce that always would have gone to waste. So that's what I have been doing. I have been. These are, what do you call it, pint jars. Um, I do waterbath canning. That means I preserve everything in water bath, but it has to boil, simmer for about minimum of 4 hours. So I sort of cook them in the jars. Um, I don't have a pressure canner because we can't buy them here in Denmark. And then I have to export it or import it from US, and that is very, very expensive for me. I ordered some 4 jars lids. I haven't got them yet. I don't even want to think about how much I am going to pay in tax fee and import tax. But you know what? They're worth it. 4 jars lids are worth it. Um, and that's actually for these jars. Um, I have some other heavier jars. Um, they're Italian, but the mouth is the same as mason jars. So I hope, because I have a problem with these lids, they lose their vacuum seal. I don't like that. It's still, it's greens, all sorts of greens. That is dark greens, celery, onion, garlic, apple, um, yeah, and that I have boiled up in a broth, and simply with my blender, mixed it up. Then I have been making watermelon jam, um, Danish style. I was actually, and we don't use pectin for our. We use melatonin, and that is vegan. It's actually some uh from, I think it's an algae or something that you use to do this and make it not like pectin. Um, yeah, that's what I have been up to. Um, so I just need to check if my, so who you all are doing well. That is a wish for me to you. I hope you're all doing well and in good spirit. It's about 9 o'clock here in Denmark. Yes. But that's what I have been up to here. So, and I apologize for not being on for a long, long time because I have been busy, as you can see, with making chicken soup um, in jars, and I have just run out of jars um, and lids, and I did order some lids for my other jars, store-bought jars actually. I Sorry, I did order some new lids for these, but again, it can take me a month, 5 weeks or something to get here to Denmark, apparently. So now I have tried to order from a different company. It calls Deep Close. It's similar to these lids. It's from the Italian jars. Um, you can only use them once, otherwise they will get buckled, um, and have to finger tight and just exactly like with the mason, um, separate lids and stuff like that. So I'm waiting for new lids for my jars. Here in Denmark we call them glass, just glass. Um, yeah, that's what I'm waiting for now, and I have, I didn't brought them in, but I have been canning carrots, peas, pastinak, celery, potatoes. I have sort of stocked up on greens and meats. We have prices here are so skyrocket, and so for me it's simply, I mean, go and find the cheapest sale. Thank you for the like. And simply can it up. um what you also know is I don't have a stove, I don't have a cooking plate. What I really wanted to show you how I cook on tealigths. I have a tea light cooker and I have 4 hours tea lights. I can on it. I call it, you can emergency can, water bath can, but I know my method is not USDA approved, but I live in Denmark and I do understand why there is a restriction on some of the things you need to be pressure canned, because I have noticed a lot of people that getting sick and do these things are really cutting corners. And if there's something you don't do when you preserve your food, do not cut corners. Listen to me, do not cut corners. I mean, it can be fatal. Um, that's also why, I mean, if you need to water bath can stuff, meat, um, I do it the ancient way, 4 hours simmer boiling covered jar. Because then after 2.5 hours, you have to consider you need to reach the pressure, a certain 10 pound of pressure inside the jars, and it takes time inside a boiling jar. So that means that pressure that comes, and you're sure all the air is pressed out, and hot up comes around after 3 hours of simmering in the jar, or it can also be like steam canned. Another thing is I add lemon juice to and salt. So I always add a little acidity into my jars, no matter whether I can. I even remembered the lemon juice in my watermelon jam because I have forgotten. And if you forget to add acidity to your watermelon, you it and it won't jam up or sit. Sorry, but I have been canning very late, and I have just been cooking, and I am so pleased with myself because I have also a lot of. Today I have 8 pints, I think. Yeah, it's a pint. That's a pint jar, um, with venison and a stew. I have been making stews. And what am I going to do with it is because we have chopper meet a lot of young children that don't get anything to eat, and homeless people don't have a refrigerator. So what I was actually started to do, also in smaller jars, that I simply cook ready meals. And sometimes if Chopper come, he has a young person and it can be late evening, I can always grab a jar, put it on a plate in the microwave, heat it up, and serve them a meal. Or I can give it him the jar with him, and he can. Often is there places where you can borrow microwave and heat it up. You can just take the lid off and put the jar inside the microwave and heat up the food. Um, but if it's something with meat into it, but if it's something with meat, I'll prefer he warm it up. So that's what I have been doing. And of course, for my own household too, because we have to have that pantry prepared for, yeah, it's going to be tough, people. It's going to be tough, friends. It is. I'm afraid it is. Yeah. Um, Here in Denmark, we see it every day. Less and less food on the shelves. I have never, never in my existence in Denmark seen. I have always complained about this stock full of produce and food on the shelf in the stores, and we have now there are empty shelves everywhere. Um, are you? Oh, I just heard 4 pops. I love that sound. Don't you, girls? That's canning. You know the best sound is when you can hear the and the jar is sealing. I just need one more. So I got 2 because I have a small purse. So when I water can, I can only water can 4 jars at the time of my pints on my tealigts. But you know what? It's then I have saved the food. Um, yeah, it's really empty. It's, yeah. So I have been out there seeking for good sales and canning and invested in new jars, a heavier quality, but they're hot. They're pretty hot out there. So, but I took as you can see, I have, this is actually a store-bought um, jar. Um, it has been, it's pickle jars, and these lids have almost the same function as the loose lid and the ring, but these are separate but connected. So yeah, it's very easy to open and close and very functional. Um, yeah, these are also a store bought, but as you can see, I have got brand new lids for these. You can actually buy these lids. I got 100 of them, and I paid about 25, yeah, $23 for 100 lids for these type of jam jars. They come in different sizes. These are these comes with no lids, or actually had a very their lids didn't have this rubber inside. Um, so that's why I needed to use these lids. Um, that one is better. These are very, very not cheap. Um, uh, I'm not trusting the seal of them, so that's why I put it in these jars, because that means these jars, so I can see the difference and keep an eye on them. And that means when I do something, I have to make sure I keep an extra eye on them. And most of the time, if it's meat, it has to go in the freezer, refrigerator, to store cold. Hi, Luna. Hi, Luna. And as you can see, here's my baby. Um, Here she is, my baby, my black girl. Oh, mm. And she has also been fed. I have been stocking up food for both my little girls. That's also one of the things I have been doing. Busy. Yeah. But I hope you all are doing okay and you are safe out there. Thank you for the like. And and I pray for you, and hopefully soon I'll come back for another video as soon as I get the other one fixed, and I think it's sewing time. Update, I got all my spiderweb blocks made. I needed 140 and I got them, and I started up on something else. I had some UFOs lying around I'm stitching on, but most of all, I am spending most of my time in my kitchen, canning and preparing food. And hello, Barbara, how are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. That it's not all bad where you are. You're okay. I'm glad to hear that, Barbara. It has been chaotic here. We have had some shooting in what do you call? Not in a shopping mall. Hello, my dear Lizzie. How are you doing? I have sent prayers for you. I heard you didn't do well. So unfortunately, yes, here in Denmark, I mean, of all places. So, and it's so crazy. I'm so glad to hear that. God bless. My soul sister Lizzie, watch this. I have started a project that is knitting for 1 year. I was found all my little skeins of acrylic, and I said, why don't I make the last knitting? It was a cartoon I saw about a woman that knitted a scarf. Look at this. This is 1 month of knitting, and what I'm going to do is I am going to knit on this a whole year. A whole year I am going to knit on this, and I don't know if I can and use up all my bits and pieces of skeins of yarn. And this lady, she was knitting and it getting longer and longer. I was, why don't I do that? I mean, I want to try to have, I mean, has anyone tried to do that in real life? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I could wrap the world. Could I make one that, go to Florida and back as a rainbow across the sky? Um, and I was actually thinking when I have been doing that, I did no, it doesn't function. But as you can see, this is, and when I have been, I started in May, and I'm going to end it in May 2023, and I am going to see how long this is going to be. Maybe I'm lucky I can come in the Guinness World of Records for the longest scarf knitted of leftovers. I don't know, but it's worth trying. And when I'm all done, I can, measure it out and cut it in length and take the machine stitch and cut between, so, and stitch it together to blankets or afghans. And yeah, um so yeah, I think yeah, it's already now fun, because I am using up all my half this, and scraps of acrylic yarn. I have so much of it. um so, and then I have been, see, and I do like this, and it's warming, because I can assure you it's not summer in Denmark. It's not summer. um no. Okay, we are going to have 3 summer days with warm weather. Sorry, as you say, it doesn't fall deeper than the floor, so I just need to fix it. And here you are, and I have been canning. Look at this. I have been making chicken soup on jars. Oh, thank you. You know what? That's in old tablecloth embroidered. I just put a little bit, and yeah, made a summer dress out of a embroidered tablecloth. So it's good for summer. And as you can see, I am actually wearing my pajamas pants, because we have a little chill here. So I love my pajamas. Um, yeah, I have been making chicken soup, um, green soup, and pork stew, and lemon, a watermelon, watermelon jam. I have been doing that, and I have been canning and cooking, and everything here is empty and expensive. I went, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, I went to the supermarket, and so they have these jars for $2, and I said, "Oh, they're cheap," and they come with pickles. Actually, it's a pickle jar, and I said, "Oh, that's cheap, $2 for pickles, a jar of pickles, and they're reusable jars." And the day after, when I went to go and buy them, the price was $2.50. During the night, they just got a $0.50 up. Yeah, so it was not cheap. And I use some Worcester sauce. Um, Normally it's $3, Now it's $5 for bottle of Worcester sauce during the night, and the price actually said $4. Yeah, $3.50 on the price, but I paid $5 when I checked the receipt. This I got, and I was whoa. So every day it's like prices, the gas price, the grid, the electricity is gone up. And as I was saying in the beginning, I'm the fortune owner of, yeah, it's so crazy, absolutely true, how the price, yeah, overnight it's just. And I have two lamps, like this, that use these light bulbs, and it's yeah, and I went to get, they're out of stock. I can't get the light bulb to my lamps, because you can get the big one, but I have the small one, so I need the small ones. They have a small here. They're out of stock, and there was actually a place I could get them, but the price was $10. $10. I'm not kidding. $10 for a light bulb this size. $10. Yeah, each. Yeah, and it was actually a very low of it, and I was like, and I'll wait a little bit. I can survive, hopefully. And as you can see, it's very bright. Look at that. Um, Normally, I don't use bright light like this, so I actually have to keep it here. But $10. Um, so I told Chopper to save on it, because it's Chopper's reading lamp. But whoa, are you kidding me? um, how is prices in Florida? Is it the same? I mean, oh, they are getting really expensive. Oh, with you too. Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm sort of, when I need to stock up on them, I'm going to look for sales, or if the and buy them in stock. Yeah, I mean, I am actually doing that now. Lizzie, I am going to bed when as soon as I can't, see anything. Otherwise, I bought some cute little battery lamps. I'll show you. Hang on. I'll take some of my jars out, because I can't move my. So I got these, Lizzie. Very cheap. First of all, it has different colors. Look at that. Hey. But you can also choose it as a white light, and it only uses three AA batteries. Like this. Yeah. So I got them on sale. I actually got them for $3 each. You can have it, so it's sort of, I call it decoration colors or something, but if you want to read, you can. Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's battery operated. I like that about it. So and you can take it with you. So that's what I have. I got three of them, I think. Yeah. Whenever they come on. No, I got more. I got four of them now. Yeah. Um just in case we need it. I have 4 rooms in my apartment, so that means I got 4 of these. Hello, Sherry, and welcome. How are you doing? How is Canada? Is it just as crazy as the rest of the world? Yeah. So I'm actually lucky. I stocked out on these for batteries, and I got another type too. So I actually have 5 of these battery operated. I think that's a good idea. Uh Crazy and hot and humid. Oh, my sweet Cherry. Here we have, I mean, cold, rain, um, not humid at all, but dry. Suddenly it's like, it's warm, um, but not, heavy, sort of, um and then it's raining and thunder, and suddenly the temperature is dropping from it can drop from 108 to 60 in an hour, and 5 minutes. Suddenly, the nights are cold and windy, and the promise we are going to have hot and heat Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, and heavy thunder and rain. Yeah. And it's, what do you say? It's clouded. Yeah. Um, it's clouded. It's gray. Um, I sincerely miss the sun. Um, I really do. Um, Actually, there was a time we did have not a tornado, but the other one, this twister. I think they call it twister. It's not as powerful as a tornado, We have actually had quite a lot of them. Um, yeah, so you would miss it also. Yeah, I mean it's yeah, but but you know what? As long as you're in good spirit, and what I'm working on, as you can see, is I'm canning food, um, green soups, potatoes, carrots. Oh, I am Sherry. I promise I am. I just went down and bought some vitamin D um, tablets and the liquid drips. We can get it in uh like liquids where you drip it on your food. Yeah. Um. So and pork and chicken. So I brought it in here so I could show you all what I have been doing because I can't move that one particularly. Um, but the other one has some problems. But I am cooking on tealigths. I want to show you how I can and how I cook on tealigths because you can actually do it. I got 4 hours tealigths that burn for 4 hours, and I put it on, close the canner, and leave it for boil. And when the candles are gone out, the canning is done, right? And I don't have to sort of look at it. Um, I have been making watermelon jam. That's what I have been doing. I have marathon knitting, as I talked to Lizzie. Um, Here, my 1 year knitting. So it's going to be a lot of fun to knit that up. I got inspired of a cartoon called Her Last Knitting, where a woman, she was knitting and she was knitting, and this scarf got longer and longer. Yeah. So let me see if I can make one that can reach Florida or even to Canada. And when I have knitted all up of my acrylic yarn, I got a lot of it. I wanted to sort of measure it up in uh, plate sides like this, perhaps, and machine stitch, cut, and stitch them together in rows. But first of all, I want to see how much can I knit on 1 year. Um, yeah, so that's also one of my projects. Is when I'm sitting in the morning, I need to have something to distress myself. When you hear the news, you probably know the same. Whenever you turn on the news, you're like, oh no, what now? And you need something to comfort your hands with. So this is my comfort blanket I'm knitting on. um yeah, the news are not particularly good. Absolutely not. um Ping, I got a ping more. That means all three. 3 jars of my venison stew are sealed in jars. Thank you for the likes. And so I have wanted to show you, girls and boys, how I did that, because I cook on tealigths, because I can assure you it's not cheap. The power, the grit, everything. We even got a letter um saying that we are rationated on heat. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We are actually got a code, and every day we have to go and check how much warm or heat we use. We are allowed to use a certain amount of heat if we are sort of, turning up, so we're getting too warm, we can actually be fined. At least we can be fined for using too much central heat. And I got the letter out there, and the same with the power grids. And I got the paper out in the hallway. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I want to we have to log in and check our daily consumer of heat and electricity. It says so. Yeah. Let me show you. Um. See, I'm not kidding. Look at that. That's the logo. See, that's the company name of our power. Yeah, it says. Yeah, I got a username and a code word. I have to go in there, and I have to follow my consumers. Yeah. You know what? That was my first thought too, Lizzie. Babe, we have families here with small children. We have newborn. Um, so I asked if it was individual or as a society at all, because you know what I told him. You know, I don't mind that a family with small children getting my what you can ration of heat, because you know what I can put on a blanket, and my kitties has furs, and I have an external um heat source I can use. um but are you kidding me? It's hello, Miss Kansas. That is so good to see you. How are you? Yeah. Hello, Kansas. So good to see you all. Hugs and blessings also to you. I just showed them that I have to go inside and check my consume of heat. We are on rationing. Yes, and even the electricity is rationed. They even put out note that we have to get the cheaper light bulbs, LED, and it's like living in the after Second World War, where you're only allowed to use one light bulb and save on the electricity. And now you have to sort of save on the heat. You're not allowed to just use a lot of it. With my name and my address, yeah. So I have to go in, and whenever I use my heat, I have to read the numbers. There's numbers, and I have to read the numbers and go into the computer and tell them how much did I use daily. And lucky for me, I just, you know what? I turned them off. I took all my heaters and I've turned them all off. No, it's from the city. It's from the central heat. Um, so you can say it's from the government. It's from the factory. Yeah, and that's telling us that we are from now on going to check our consume of heat, and that means we are allowed to use a certain amount of grids daily. And if you sort of use too many grids, that means you have an over consuming. You are fined for it, and you are getting rewarded if you don't go over that curve. And you have to go into the computer and notify how much you turned up for your heat, your central heat. So when I got it, I just simply, you know what, I have shut them all down. I have shut them all down, and I have simply taken my blankets, taking my knitting, and an extra sweater, and I lost a light bulb here, and look what I got. Look, see, isn't that bright? Because I used the small ones. Um, and you know what? $10, Kansas, $10 for a small one. It was $20 for the bigger ones. And I have for the smaller ones because I like little lamps. They're out of stock. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I hope I can bank for it. Yeah, and that I can sort of, if keep it down, and it's, yeah, earn my point so I can have until the crisis is over, because Russia has, because we are dependent on Russians gas, natural gas line, and Russia has disconnected Germany, and we get it transported from Germany to Denmark, and that means we are in so deep shit, because most of our homes are these um now I forgot the word for it, the piano, my heat source, um central heat. Central heat comes from Germany, warm. um And we also have a letter telling us to save on the electricity. So I'm so fortunate that I'm cooking on tea light, and I heat up with tea lights and my own paraffin lights, paraffin warm, and I call it a sort of prepaid heat. for cooking, and there's still enough of them, and they're not raised. But I have been stocking up on tea lights 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, and these block candles, and I am saving every bit. Um, yeah, I mean, the fuel here is so crazy too. I'm happy I don't have a car too, Sherry. Trust me. But for people that is dependent of me, thank you, Kansas. I have been working on my face muscles. I have been having a diet. I have been losing a lot of weight. As you can see, that's not much of me. um, yeah, I'm stripping. I did have something, but this is too deep. Um, yeah, I have lost weight. Um, I have got a diet plan. I sort of live very healthy. No sugar, no sweets, no candy, no artificial flavors, no artificial sugars. Uh, no snacks between meals. Um, yeah, and canning soup. I live off green soup. I have canned soup, green soup, chicken soup, and pork butt stew. There's a little bit pork meat into it, and apples and onions. And I have thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, the only the only thing is that I can't fix my leg. It has in my leg. The nerves has disintegrated. When I got this test with the needle and mushroom, um, a nerve stream, um, that take a needle with electricity into the nerves, and they found out my right leg is pretty bad, and I have days where I sort of can't stand properly on it. I'm not allowed to do like this with my legs, but it's okay. I just need to remember it. um the left one is okay. um they're still talking about the wheelchair because they're quite amazed that I actually can walk. um but I'm using I have like this bicycle, and I train my legs and I exercise, and yeah. um so, and I can feel it's helping. So we are I am really on a healthy diet. I want to say that. um I have a lot of um, anti-flamies. Uh, I think you call it greens, and how much I eat. There's a limit. For example, a pint. It's a pint jar. Is one meal. Um, that's maximum. I'm allowed to eat one pint for each meal. Yeah, I'm. Oh, thank you. You're not the one to show. No, I don't. I don't want to give up. Why do that? I mean, people are doing. I mean, I have seen a lot of. Um, I went to um hospital, and this re-exercising rehab, when you go, and they gave up. I mean, they're in a wheelchair. Two of them are, they can't walk, and I say, but if you don't use your leg, I mean, then you're dead. I mean, I'm not a quitter. I mean, yeah, it hurt. Yeah, of course it hurts like hell sometimes, when it's like, you know daggers. Can you imagine somebody take a dagger in your nerve system? And yeah, it hurt, but you know what, it's the pain shows you have the leg, so use it. um I think the best advice I got from my doctor was, every night I have to eat 2 pieces of dark chocolate, or drink 2 cups of dark chocolate, cacao, I think, milk before bedtime, because it has a high content of magnesium. Yeah, yeah. Lizzie is a strong woman too. You are a fighter too. You're not giving up. I love you for that. And your purple hair. Mm, it's so nice. Yeah. So, yeah. Uh, Basically, it is a diet I have to sort of sell. Um, I was just told to change my eating habits on a polite way. Um, so I contacted uh, the homeless team, doctors, and he told me to flaxseed, dark cacao, or chocolate, because of the magnesium, and celery sticks, um, onion, garlic, carrots, apples. Apples was very important. I actually, and he told me an apple a day is quite right about keep the doctor away, because the pectin and the fibers in the apples do wonders for your digestion system. So when every meal, even my green soup, my pork butt has apples, my chicken soup has grated apples in them. So I have 5 things I simply have in any meal. Every meal I take is greens. It's carrots. Yeah, carrots, celery, onion, garlic, and potatoes is also a good substance. And leeks, I think you call them leeks, is also a very important. And pineapple, asparagus, um, mushrooms. I have to be very careful with tomatoes, and he called it cheap green. Um, Cheap greens, that's water salad that you eat raw. I'm not allowed to eat anything raw. So you don't heat it. You know, and normally I wouldn't. I mean, um, it cancer. It took time to get used to it. Trust me. And I do eat meat. He said it's important for me, but I have to be sure that it is clean meat, because the problem is when you go and buy meat, when it go through the factory, it's a with hundreds of needles that pumping salt water into the meats and call it marinating. And I'm not allowed to do that, eat that, because that water is, he said, it's natrium chloride. And that is triggering the auto, the Guillain-Barré, the infection. So what I have to do is I have to be extremely careful not to eat anything that can trigger my immune system even more. So I need to eat as clean as possible. And I can assure you that's not easy. Are you kidding me? It's also cancers. I can assure you that there's a lot of these veg that I can't eat because they're GMO, or you know, you name it, they have artificial color into it. And so for me, it's a life importance to, I am, and all my food has to be cooked properly. And that's why I simply started to can all my food. It has to be simmered for at least 4 hours. Um, yeah, in a jar. Um, Especially the meat, to keep all the nutrition inside that jar. That means when you cook your food and pressure can, all the nutrition doesn't vibrate as it will do if you leave it in an open pot to simmer. So when you can your food, it actually has content more nutrition than something cooked in an open pot. So that's why I'm started to, as you can see, cook raw pack, cook for 4 hours, covered, and it's sealed. You can actually see it's sealed. It doesn't click. And I am not, I don't eat bread. I miss my sourdough bread. Um, but no wheat. Nada, because I'm cooking on tea light. I'm not using energy to my canning, and that's why I wanted to show you. I would, when I can get my computer to my kitchen, because I can't get this one in my kitchen. I am canning with candles. Yes, I am. Yes, I am canning with candles, and I am going to show you how I'm doing it. I don't know. I can try. Hang on. I can, for a short moment. I'll see if I can. Um, it's a little heavy. Let me see if I can actually lift you in my kitchen. I just need to be careful because my leg, it's killing me right now. It's sleepy. It's like, now we are going in my kitchen. Here we are. Here we are. Have a look at this. Can you actually see it? Can you see it down here? If I remove the pot, as you can see, down here, I don't know if you can actually see it, but down here I have 12 lights arranged. I have 1.5 inch space from here, from the flame to the pot, and I put it in a circle like this, light them up, have it here, and this is the leftovers of my green soup. Here I have this is the big boy. The smaller boy is here, as you can see. If I can, that was tough for my arm, and I got that one. This has 9 candles. Again, the space. You need to make sure that the flame doesn't touch these panels. These are isolating and making sure as a safety and they're not allowed to get closer together than this. And the second importance is let me see. It has something to do that when you have enough airflow around, that's why it's very important it's open around the pot. That means I can actually get the temperature to 200, 300. When I sort of started up, I want to see if I can show you on a live stream how fast this actually go, because as soon as I put the pot, it start to fry. I can actually boil 6 pints of water on an hour. What I do, as you can see, I have here more canning. This is a venison stew I have. And as you can see, my pantry, I don't know if you can actually see my pantry. Look at that, all canned food covered up here, jars with food. Down there I have food, and I have food here. So as you can see, I have invested in all these tiny little jars. Carrots, pastinac, carrots, yeah, more carrots, pastinac. This one, I got celery, yeah, and I got peas in jars, and I have these little boxes here where I keep them. Yes, hope. So I learned that from my grandmother. She survived 2 world wars, right? And that's how they did it. She gave me the design of the big bad boy here. Yeah, and you can sort of, if it's too much heat, you can just kill a candle, as she said. You can just blow one out, or the better thing is you lift up the pot, you put another grid or rack on top of it, so you higher, you more heat that flow around the pot. because the heat is circulating around the pot. That means it boils faster. And when you're canning, this is actually my canning pot, that one, but I had so much green that I needed to cook with it. um yeah, and as you can see, I got these jars pretty cheap, but as you can see, the lids are not suitable. So what I'm actually waiting for is new lids. And as you can see, yeah, more of my watermelon jam. I got watermelon juice, or I have canned too. Up here, I forgot to show you up here. I have also back there mushrooms. Yes, and another thing is I am started to, as you can see, regrow my celery, like this. This is my nursery. Sorry for the mess, but as you can see, my nursery and my onions. And I can see I need to get power on this one. We are going back inside. Yeah. So I actually learned it because my grandma used to cook, and the most important thing is that the only tea lights or candle is paraffin candles, not the other stuff, because they have too high a service burning. So paraffin candles or paraffin wax. My grandmother used to make a pot like this. She has a clay pot, and she put little wicks into it and paraffin, and made her own, like, flat paraffin with little wicks like this. And she was so happy when these tea lights came out, because then she didn't have to make these with paraffin wax. Yeah, I need to. What is happening again? Just a minute. It's because something I need to. Okay, if I put it in the right. Here we are. So I am so hooked on. I want to teach you, girl, and show you how to build one, and teach you how you can cook your food, and you can actually make a stew in 1.5 hours. um and you can you're less, when you have 12 candles, it's go fast. If you just want to slow cook, you have 8 or 9 candles. And then you put the pot a little lower down, slow heat, and you can have a lot of heat, but you have to remember to sort of make sure you have at least an inch distance between. Yeah, but exactly, but it doesn't have a high service. What I mean is, the other cheap stuff, the other stuff, has a nasty smell to it. um and paraffin is a cleaner burner than the other thing. Here in Denmark, we call it stearin, and it's very dirty. Paraffin is petroleum based, and that means it's much cleaner than the other one. So that's why only use the other light. But I hope you like to see, because I really want to show you. And when I get a better view and time, I'll build it up with you, show you how deep this. It's just a table barbecue and little aquarium for fish tank, gravel in the bottom, and kitty litter on top. Because when the kitty litter, you miss, you just take the kitty litter and refresh it. And the other one is, you can pop it up and down, and you can raise it or lower it as pleased. Um, so I want to show you. That's how I have been cooking all the time, even canning, because I I have 8 hours, 6 hours, and 4 hours. I normally use the 4 hours by canning, because it has to simmer for 4 hours, right? So I just put the lights on, boiling water, put the lid on, and leave it until candles go out. Go and check, fasten the lids, because I can't, when I can these damn things, you can't close them. You have to leave them open. So that's why it's very important. I'm there after 4 hours. When I can see the 2 or 3 lights are burned out, I take it off and um, tighten up the lids and cross my fingers. It will seal. So that's why I'm still waiting. I ordered some Ford jars, but everything from America is it's going to be expensive, because it's, first of all, import tax, handle tax, and I don't know. Um, but you know what? They're worth it. These Ford jars lids, because they're an investment. So I see my jars as investments. What you do, because I keep my food here. Um, the beneficial is that I save a lot of energy. And yes, Kansas, it's lucky me. Um, Actually, I had a guy knocking on my door and asked, because they have acted from the company. They have noticed I used a very little electricity power when I sent in, and he came, and if I'm not living here, and I said, of course I'm cooking. Um, he was he was impressed, but he was not particularly happy, because that means they don't make money off me. Um, Also, because I told him, you know what, the problem, apartment from 1935. I have a low power grid, or I don't know, this electricity is sort of, yeah, yes. Yes, exactly. I was actually making candles before. I mean, so not a problem. I mean, it's definitely, and I save, as you saw in a video. All these have leftovers. If I don't use them all up, I take it out and produce new candles. That's what I do. So it's, yeah, a win-win situation for me, and it's prepaid heat. Yeah, I could write a book about living. I could easily do that. I could easily. I can assure you. I I I exactly. Little did I know. Yeah. I mean, right now I'm so happy that you know uh, I have always lived so for me it was like shit is that happened so a lot of thing has passed by me and now it's getting oh hello Janet Way, great to see you too. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, all of you actually. So little do you know. Um and I have always put an honor. I hope so. I hope so. I think she will be very proud that I remembered um also how to can and prepare. I I listen. I can even bake bread on my tea lights. I can make biscuits. I can make a loaf of bread on tea lights. Yes, I can. And she even taught me how to make these um, furnace plates, as we call them, where you have like a plate and you braid little wicks and put a little steel on it, put it down, and melt the wax or paraffin wax or any kind of wax. You can even use oil, vegetable oil. um Lit them off and put it under, and you can cook, you can bake, you can do whatever. Sadly I lost the oven, because you can also get a paraffin oven where you light paraffin at the sides, where it's like two metal boxes where you have a center box and an outer box, and in between the walls there is these rows with paraffin and little wicks, and heat up the sides and the backs. So you can actually a real oven, but I can actually make bread in, yeah, in my Dutch oven. I have a, you call it a Dutch oven, my cast iron pot with a lid on. I can bake a bread on the tea light cooker. So yeah, I think my grandma would be proud of me actually, that I remembered all these things, because it's I started to take it up when I found out at my all the new stoves and these cooking plates, they're demanding more and more power, that I don't know what you call it, this on the wall that has this sickring, um I don't know, but it has 2000 here in Denmark called what or something, but the new modern stoves demand 3000, or the lowest 2500. That means I can't use them because my power grid is not big enough or built to these modern amounts of high amount of power. So yeah, so I started just okay, yeah, I'm using my tea lights again. Um, so I stock up on them, and they're still cheap. That means I can actually for 4 hours cooking, um, what was I yeah, if you count, I have for $3 I can actually cook for 24 hours. Yeah, actually 20 I have 24 hours constant cooking for little over $3 with my perfume wax tealigts. And if I get them on sale, I can do it on $2 because you have to remember I get them in packs of 50 for $3. I only use 12. That's, yeah, and they are 4 hours. Think, yeah, 20. So, or 16 hours, depending on how much. Sorry. Because sometimes I only use 10 if I want it slow cooked. So that's what I have been up to. Yeah. What I used to make, I use embroidered tablecloth. Yeah, I folded it, cut the sleeves, cut a hole. Yeah, and old pillowcase, and I got a dress. Um, yeah, actually there are two um pillowcases, but yeah. So, whew, I'm sorry it's getting late, but I've been so happy to see all of you. Lizzie, Kansas, Jerry, Janet, Barbara, and I I really want to show you guys, girls, friends, how to, yeah, how I cook. So as soon as I get an idea how to set it up, so you can actually follow the process, how fast it really goes. I had two young people that was pretty amazed how quick I could boil. Yeah, I need to get some sleep now. It's late, but I hope I can get on again sooner. But it was very nice to see all of you again. So, and I hope you will stay safe and water. Yeah, I don't have, that's one of the thing I'm missing, my water. But I got a little coffee. Oh, I have some water. You know what? That's one of the things um that is also good. I have taught myself is to, whenever I eat, I drink a big jar of water. So I remember, you know what? It's also nice to see all of you. So yeah, I am actually, it's 22:23, half 11 or something. So, and I need to do my dishes because what I don't like is have wake up with dishes in my sink. So I need to clean my kitchen before. Oh, you're welcome. I will give the kittens a scrap from all of you. That's a promise. And then I promise I'll teach you girl how to cook on tea lights and save a lot of money. Yeah. So, and make your own out of old candles. So, yeah, love you girls, all of you, to the moon and back. I hope you'll stay safe, and I promise I'll come back and sending love and hugs, and yeah, and sweet dreams to you all. So, love you guys. Bye for now. Take care, and God bless all of you.